All right, who's here early? Coming from YouTube. Yeah, I haven't used the Twitch one in a while. I don't know. Not super thrilled with Twitch. Not that I'm super thrilled with YouTube, but here we go. All right, I just want to vent a little bit on it's just constant garbage. I don't know if people used to call these Upwork generated articles or Fiverr generated articles. It's just a bunch of spam with a bunch of clickbait headlines, or maybe the information was in there, but usually it isn't. So this is one of them that I turned my ad blocker off. I'm not sure if it's going to do much, but this is coming from Producer Hive, and I needed a little platform to host a Celestion FRFR speaker, and I figure, why bother buying all these separate power amps and stuff? Just buy a guitar amp that has a 12-inch cabinet and plug into it. And I don't want to get super detailed into that, but let's say that if the power amp is flat enough and there's a way into it from an effects return or power amp in or whatever, should work okay. If you guys really want to talk about that, James Freeman answered some questions about the actual cabinet construction, if you want to get really technical. But anyway, so I saw a Boss Katana for sale on Craigslist for cheap, and it was a Mark 1. And I was wondering, what's the difference between the Mark 1 and Mark 2 for my purposes? And I type it in. I get this article from Producer Hive. Boss Katana Mark 1 versus Mark 2, 5 critical differences. So I think I'm going to see the stuff. They give the disclosure we may receive commission. So first we get a video. Then we get something talking about the Katana series are hugely popular amp models. And last week, Boss announced the Katana Mark II, the successor to the popular Mark I. We've taken a look at both and weighed up the differences between the two. The new updates cover a different range of options, blah, 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 blah. So what are the 5 differences? 5 critical differences. Well, let's see. The big question, is it all that different than the Mark II? And some guy's got a video on Mark 1 versus Mark II, new Kirk Hammett models. I don't know. They describe this stuff. It's a bunch of word salad. So finally down here, halfway through the page, we get to the differences. And this page actually isn't that bad. At least they get to them. They tell you that there's a new editor. There's a variation button, dual effects pots, control it with the foot controller. That's weird. I thought there was a foot control on the old ones. Upgraded effects, power amp in. This is the one that matters to us, right? Maybe, actually. I'm not sure. And stereo expand. So most of these things you'll see, there'll be like a bunch of ads and stuff. This article isn't that bad. But it really kind of drives me nuts. Because really, let's not pretend this isn't clickbait. Here's the 5 critical differences. Just put them on there, but instead first we got a bunch of stuff. All right, but so here's I know this isn't the best source in the world, especially if you're getting into any kind of like science or politics type topics, but this is The Verge. And this article, I think it's from 2019, yeah. It's called Endless AI Generated Spam Risks Clogging Up Google Search Results. So everybody's talking lately about ChatGPT, it's the new kid on the block or whatever. But these spam articles that are just word salad generated by artificial intelligence or Upwork or Fiverr or whatever, maybe by actual people, but just mostly nonsense, lorem ipsum dolor, whatever, like we get with the fake, the website examples. So it says, a tsunami of cheap AI content could cause problems for search engines. I don't know why they put a tsunami in quotes here. But, for all I know, this is a spam article, right? Like, that's how meta and recursive this whole spam problem has become. Let's just see what they have to say. Over the past year, AI systems have made huge strides in their ability to generate convincing text. Let's see where this link goes. OpenAI's new multi-talented AI writes, translates, and slanders Step forward in the AI text generation, that also spells trouble. So they're talking about, here's their context generated text. Experts have warned that these tools could be used to spread political disinformation. Okay, that's why I say there's a problem. Like when you talk about The Verge or Vice or whatever, these guys, they are very biased. I don't care about the political disinformation side of it. That's nothing new, and it's never going away. So, but there's another target that's equally plausible and potentially more lucrative: gaming Google. Instead of being used to create fake news, all right, there we go again. Never mind that. AI could churn out infinite blogs, websites, and marketing spam. And that's exactly what they do. The problem to me is that it's not that this looks like marketing spam. These are presented as articles, and they are at the top results of anything you search for. So like, I'm going to give some examples in a second, but if I go to best audio interface, for instance, I'm not going to get articles from legit places. I'm going to get spam. And if I do get any articles, it's going to be mostly garbage. Like here's a Sweetwater one, at least. What's Hyperbits? Let's see what this Hyperbits one has to say, for instance. I can't even read this stuff. So this is called the 20 best audio interfaces for music producers in 2023. Let's look at the scroll bar and see where it is before we actually get to any interfaces. Right at the top here. Okay, let's see if we can actually make this so we can read this. We put together a guide to help you. Below you'll learn the 20 best audio interfaces. We will even teach you how to go about buying one. After reading this guide, you'll know everything you need to know when it comes to buying the best audio interface for music. So here's the ultimate guide to studio setups. I guess it's from these same guys. You can download it for free. Let's see what happens if I click this. Yeah. So here you go. This is another like the long wind kind of MLM scam where you're gonna. Do I really want to do this? Let's just do this. So it's probably gonna send me something. Thanks, guys, free stuff. Make sure you check your email. So I'm going through this pain for you guys. Let's just see what we get here. Promotions. I'm looking to see. It might have gotten actually stopped by my spam filter. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Interesting. Yeah, well, it didn't get me there. So this talks about what's an audio interface. Ask yourself what level of music producer you are, which isn't bad. I mean, you do want to buy the right one depending on your skill level. But if you really wanted to get there, where are we now? Okay, well, we're about quarter way through the page. We got Audient. Best for recording bands at home, PreSonus Quantum. Best for surround sound, Universal Audio, Apollo. I question these results, but here's your Focusrite 2i2. Which you expect there to be. Best audio quality. Best for audio quality. So they show a Universal Audio. Have they actually tested this? I don't see any. Let's see. UAD interfaces are infamous for their quality of their DSP plugins and how well they emulate vintage analog gear. When you getting a UAD interface, you unlock a new fidelity to your recordings. Do you? Where's the evidence for that? I don't see any. Best mid price that stands up to Big Dog's Black Lion. Okay, let's not get ugly here, but all right, let's just this is spam, right? All right, so here's my I got my email. I don't know if I want to show this. Here's your download to the Hyperbits PDF you asked for. Download here, Ultimate Guide to Home Studio Setups. So again, first I had to send them my email. Then they send me there, and then they send me to some download page. Could have just let me download it. If this wasn't a scam, it would have just been straight to me. But here we go. Here's a Hyperbits guide to setting up small studio setups. If you've seen these before, there's always like a how to mix drums, and then download this free PDF, and it usually goes to like a course you can buy. Let's see if this is legit or not. I got a nice blank page. A short story about my first studio. So if you've ever watched health or wellness or multi-level marketing scams, it'll always tell you a short story behind my rise to success. Um, oh, this. So this is supposed to be how to set up a bedroom studio, but instead it just talks about like lifestyle, all this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. This could be okay, but it's mostly garbage. Um, so let's take a look at this. The problem is we talked about this how often lately is that you just can't use Google or really any other search engine to get to anything you actually need to get to because it is all spammed out with this crap. So says but like most AI generated text, it would only have surface meaning with little correspondence to the real world. Yeah. It would be the information equivalent of empty calories. Yep. But still potentially difficult for a search engine to distinguish from the real thing. And that's what it is. I don't know that it's difficult for Google to distinguish between the real thing and the spam. I think that Google is pushing the spam to the top for their own reasons. And we could really get into that if you want, but there's plenty of YouTube videos and actual articles that'll tell you why. Just take a look at this blog post answering the question, what photo filters are best for Instagram marketing? At first glance, it seems legitimate, with the bland introduction followed by quotes from various marketing types, just like MLM scams, right? But read a little more closely and realize it references magazines, people, and crucially Instagram filters that don't even exist. Let's see. This marketing blog does not exist. An AI-generated marketing blog by Fractal. This is really what this looks like. Actually, this looks not as legit as the ones that are out there right now. So he's saying the rest of the site is full of similar posts covering topics like how to write clickbait headlines and why is content strategy so important. Okay, so this is actually a blog. This marketing blog does not exist.com. That's interesting. Let's go to the newest one here. Actually, it's 2019. Is there not I'd actually like to see what other stuff they have. It's just all this SEO scammers and stuff. Because AI systems enable content creation at essentially unlimited scale and content that humans and search engines alike will have difficulty discerning, we feel it's an incredibly important topic to write with far too little discussion currently. So you use an open source tool named Grover to create the fake blog posts. And this is what we're getting. Right now, spotting fake AI text is pretty easy. I would say that, yeah, this was 2019. I don't think it is anymore. As we've seen with visual deepfakes, just because we can build technology that spots this content doesn't mean it's not in danger. It's not a danger. Integrating detectors, we're already turning away from search engines. Yes, and that's an issue. Google did not respond to queries on this topic, including the question of whether or not it's working on systems that can spot AI-generated text. I don't. We know they can, and we know they are, but it's not that they're putting them to use. I think they like this stuff. It's a good bet that it is, though, considering Google engineers are at the cutting edge of this field. Instead, the company sent a boilerplate reply saying that it's been fighting spam for decades, and always keep up with the latest tactics. But like this quote here, we're already turning away from search engines, and we are. Like how often do you Google an actual technical question anymore? I needed to know just how to wire a regular three-prong plug for US 120 volt wiring, and I was getting all different spam answers. Let's see, wiring 3 conductor electrical 120 volt USA. So if I do this, I might get something good. I might, might get garbage. How to wire a simple 120 volt. So WikiHow, I know people love this WikiHow, but I swear this one's been spammed up as well. Let's see. So I'm gonna look for, just looking for the conductor for the plug. This one's actually not that bad. Okay, now where's the... Looking for the plug here. Because, for us, we're always replacing the plugs on our IEC cables for audio gear, right? So this one's actually going into how to do it with a breaker. 20-volt wiring diagram. Find some images. What about the male plug? So here's one. At least that one's got something good on it. But, it's getting harder and harder to find this stuff, right? More and more web searches are made via proxies like Siri and Alexa, meaning gatekeepers like Google only have to generate 1 or 2 great answers rather than dozens of relevant links. So we've been talking about how Google's been useless for years, right? On the other hand, I don't know if they're talking about this or not. The AI could get so good that we're actually better off with AI written articles. But right now we're just getting this spam garbage, right? Why are you seeing so many bad digital ads though? But they're not always ads, or at least they're not presented as ads. Scrolling past ads has rarely been enjoyable, but in recent months, people say the experience seems so much worse. Or unwelcome ads on Twitter. Who reads Twitter for anything but just to get angry anyway? More ads for random gold investment. Let's see if this has anything that we care about. Advancements in digital advertising technology were meant to improve users' experience. Yeah, I mean, if I get targeted ads, I'd actually be happy, but I don't. I get garbage. Let's see, invest in gold. So, sadly, so I was looking at that Producer Hive, and here's this pop-up crap here. Grab your copy of everything you need to know about compression. Let's see, if I do go to grab my copy, what's going to ask for? Like my email, or can I actually get it? Type digital download, add to cart. Just let me download it. 45 pages of actionable compression chips and cheat sheets. This actually isn't that bad. I wouldn't mind having this for the kids around here. Actually, he's got the same speakers as I do. But when I look at this thing, so if this is like a free ultimate compression cheat sheet and settings, this isn't that bad. If I go halfway down the page, we're already here to some settings. Controlling dynamic range, 3-to-1 ratio, 5 millisecond attack looks like, 20 millisecond release, and threshold. I don't know. You're gonna have to set that yourself. Taming transients, 1.5 to 1, 30 millisecond attack. I don't know how much transients this is gonna control. When you need to control overly pronounced plosive words, and the overall attack of the vocal take can help to get vocal gel better into the mix. Ratio 1.5 to 1. Attack time 10 milliseconds. Is that what it's showing here? Yeah, okay. Release time 40 milliseconds. How would this tame transients? I guess not really. You would think of like a 0 attack would be for accentuating transients. Actually, this one looks like it works. So I don't know. This may be some opinion and stuff, but at least this one's somewhat useful. Let's see. 20 best audio interfaces for home recording studios. And here we go again. You talk about what is a great audio interface is important. How to choose one, PC or Mac. So let's see if we're going choosing the right interface type. Firewire. What year are we in? Is there any Firewire interfaces left? What out there still runs Firewire? What you riding your bicycle? What are you riding? Are you riding a trail? Are you riding a skate park, or are you riding down the road? How many inputs and outputs do I need? I'm kind of cracking up over this Firewire thing here. I know RME still has the Fire faces and stuff, but how many people actually run that on Firewire? Do I need a specific audio interface for my DAW? So we got to support Universal Audio's Luna. And so I had to go and buy a Universal Audio interface for this, because apparently you need one of those in order to run their their DAW. But otherwise, don't worry about it. Okay, so here we go. As we now we're at the bottom of the page. Here are the audio interfaces. Oh, e-bike home from work. In fact, while cycling, use your eyes, not your ears. No, man, that's living too easy, right? Let's go to the skate park and do some blindfolded runs. Or at nighttime when everybody's still there and it's getting kind of dark and there's no lights and you're kind of just playing Marco Polo so you don't run into each other. So we finally get to these audio interface recommendations, and it's not too bad. Euphoria 204 HD, I think we did some tests of those live, right? They're using Vesicon drivers, just like the Focusrite is right here. It's a 2i2. I don't know that I get a 2i2. I'd probably just get a Focusrite Solo if you're on the low end. But that's not bad. PreSonus 26C. I don't know what that thing is. Mid-range, the 18i20 from Focusrite. Ultralight Mark V. I don't know that I would say. Apogee Duet. I would stay way the hell away from that thing. The OS audio interface is known for its great sound and user-friendly interface. Really, it's a great sound. Let's see some tests. People always make claims about this. Look, for high-end, Antelope Audio Orion Studio Synergy Core. Now, because Antelope made such insane clock magic claims, I just stay away from them. But people are saying that the drivers are actually pretty good. RME Fireface, there now we go for high-end. Or Universal Audio, I don't care. Anyway, and this is what we're getting. Let's see, eHome Recording Studio. It's just like a ad supported. I don't really see very many ads here. What is this here? Audio Interfaces 101, the Ultimate Buyer's Guide. Now this, I don't mind if it comes taking a long time for something like this to get to the actual audio interfaces because it's saying the ultimate. So I guess you're going to read everything. It's a good table of contents. So let's see. Which digital connectors are the fastest? Desktop versus rack mount. Best ones currently on the market. So let's look at this. Which digital connectors are the fastest? It tells the 4 that are commonly used. Again, FireWire. While USB is the slowest of all 4 options, it's still fast enough to get the job done for the vast majority of home studios. Thank you. Ideally, though, try to go for Thunderbolt, as it will likely become the standard connection of the future. What year is this thing written in? I'm still waiting for Thunderbolt to really, I mean, what do we do? We're still running USB for most stuff. And, there's Dante, which it's probably the less said about that, the better. Let's see what they recommend here. How many ins and outs do you need? Yeah, it's important. Mic inputs versus line inputs versus optical inputs. Thank you. Optical, which can receive up to 8 digital channels at once, usually connects with an external. Make sure, though, if you're really looking to get 8 channels out of your optical, that it's not just a Toslink or SPDIF, right? Desktop versus rack mounted. Okay, here we go. Best audio interfaces currently on the market. Perfect, cheap, simple interface for solo work. And there's an M Audio 192.6 Air. It's nice to see M Audio back sometimes and not back other times. I don't know. Just because they keep going in and out as a company, it's a little scary. Here's a Scarlett Solo. I would probably look at that. Audience got that Evo 4 that looks pretty interesting. That's nice. Let's see what they got. 8-channel rack mount interface for beginners. Focusrite. No, that's a PreSonus 1824C. This is probably okay. I would maybe stay away from the PreSonus ones because they tend to abandonware their stuff. But right now, Jim Roseberry says that the PreSonus Quantum is actually a really good interface. There's an SSL 2-channel thing. Then I'm almost positive this is running Vesicon drivers the same as everybody else. So, it's not that you can get something way better, but it does say SSL on it. Antelope. I'm not going to talk about Antelope. Army Babyface Pro. Now you're getting into some money, though. That's not going to be cheap. Ultimate audio interface for guitarists is the M-Box Studio. We just saw this thing at the NAMM show, right? This is brand new. You actually have that PreSonus. Which one? So that's the 1824. Yeah, 1824. See, what does this one got in it? Does this have like ADAT in and out? Let's see. PreSonus 1824C. You know, when the Fire, okay, I'm just going to date myself here. Back when Dice 2 was around, and I know Dice 2 was so bad, but the Fire Studio was a really good idea. It had the right form factor, 2 ADAT inputs. So, you know, you had your 24 channels right there. Let me see, maybe the Amazon. Will the Amazon one actually show me what I want to see, or is it just going to be garbage? Here's the back panel right here. Let's go. ADAT. So, oh, that's why they call it an 1824, right? So you can get another 8 channels. So 18 ins. 18 ins is nothing to laugh at. That's probably about as much as anybody really needs, unless they're running. Even around here, I barely use more than 18 inputs at a time. If we're recording drums, I'm going to get up there, but it's just because I don't want to unplug stuff that I need more channels. I could actually get away with the 18 on here. So let's see, eight more inputs on ADAT, 2 on SPDIF, I guess, or we got another. Is there another 2 channels someplace? See, this is like the Focus, right? You got 2 of them on the front. It's actually, see, PreSonus always comes out with the kick-ass form factors. Like, they knew what people wanted. I still got 2 central stations over here. And, you know, if the Fire Studio wasn't Dice 2, it would have been the ultimate product. But, you know, there really was no way around that. The other 2 inputs are on the front. Okay, yeah. So just like the Focus, right? So you got 2 inputs there. And so the last 2 inputs are going to be your SPDIF, right? Does it say 4 mic pre's? Is that true, or does it have 8? Looks like it's got 8 to me. Why does it say 4 mic pre's? Yeah, PreSonus always makes kick-ass interface. So $500. So, you know, I'm running an RME Digiface USB for 32 inputs, but there's no analog, nothing. Actually, it's got analog headphone outs, I think. But everything's on ADAT. And those, of course, those are way the hell faster drivers than this. But let's see, turn that off. $500. Why is it $500? What are they doing right now for a 24 channel interface for free PreSonus? Is that the Quantum, or Quantum needs Thunderbolt? Or let me see. Actually, now I am totally want to know. PreSonus. Where's it? Interfaces. Yeah, you know, I can't just sit there and fault PreSonus forever for having bad drivers a million years ago. But actually, let's see what they got. PreSonus. Audio interfaces. So, want to look at their bigger stuff. One more. Interface type. I don't know what different type. So Studio, and I think Quantum is what I want. Okay, so Studio 68C. What does that mean? It's probably 6 in, 8 out or something. 1810. What's the difference between these two? 1824, 2626, and okay, so let's look at this Quantum. So these ones Jim Roseberry was saying that had just unreal fast, like RME level or faster times on them. So let's see, 8 channels of mic pre's on the front. What do we got on the back? 2 more. So that's ADATs. So Thunderbolt. So you're going to need Thunderbolt to run this thing. And I still, like, Thunderbolt has not taken over in the way that we really need to see. So what is this one right here? The Quantum is slightly different. What's the difference with this one? Looks like it's still Thunderbolt. What's the difference between the Quantum and the Quantum 2626? It still looks like it has 2 sets of 8 add-ins. Let's see, 7 to 10, 16. Yeah, still 24 channels. I wonder what's the difference between these guys. Quantum 2626 and Quantum. I have no idea. That one looks fancier up front, at least. Maybe that's all it is. Got like some auto gain settings or something like that. So they get rid of all their other 24 channel ones, or they didn't really have any. But that 18 channel looks cool. Okay, anyway, let me stop babbling about this stuff. Let's see what else these guys had. I love how they're pushing this Apogee stuff. Okay, the Ultimate Professional Rack, and it says Antelope on it. No, thank you. I'll take an RME. Let's see. So here's another one. I got a pop-up. Let's get rid of this pop-up. Best audio interface from Careers in Music. Let's see. Let's talk all about the guy who makes this Molten Audio technology. His YouTube channel has 45,000 subscribers. Okay. What is the best audio interface? This one actually doesn't look like word salad. It actually says something that matters. So they get pretty much the same thing. Do I need an audio interface for home recording? Yes, you do. Okay. Who's Robin Vincent? Is this guy like quoting himself in his article? So like, all right, I don't know. I'm just being a schmuck here. Audio interface Q&A. It's like he's calling in this expert who's himself. Okay. Which audio interface is best for music production? You need to look at what you're trying to achieve. The answer always is it depends, right? Your channel has 350? Man, that's more than me, I think. I'm still trying to get to 500. Yeah, see, yeah, I'll just quote yourself. I'm going to start doing this. Pipeline Audio says M2, M4. You know, what's best about these? These all seem to have the same inner drivers. These all have this. These are the drivers for pretty much every single audio interface out there that doesn't say RME on it. I wonder, is there someplace that actually tells who's using these drivers? Let's try. Which audio interfaces use Desicon drivers? Now, I say Desicon because that's what Vin Curliano, Dawbench, and some of his guests call it. So let's just see. Geez, 2018 USB interface for Windows. Let's see. This is a safe space, so who knows? Note that the Audient uses the Desicon driver, same as the Behringer. Still be a little difference in how you implement them. Because, yeah, some people implement them well and some people don't. Yeah, don't get run over. I was just venting on this damn spam articles all over the place. I'm getting so sick of. But now I got this rabbit hole. I'm looking at Desicon drivers. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to say is I'm just so tired of these spam articles, because when people buy stuff, they're buying stuff based on these spam articles, and half the times it's just garbage, and then they end up having to buy it again, and then I feel bad. They bring it down here to the school or the studio, and had they asked, see, it sounds arrogant, but had they asked me ahead of time, I would have steered them to something else. And the problem is people don't know who to ask, because the question the gatekeepers of knowledge right now, Google and everybody else, are just giving them spam and garbage. I don't know where to go. For me, I have to go back to the forums, which I thought were dead. Sometimes social media, Facebook can help a little bit. There's some Facebook groups. But those get spammed up by Dunning-Krugers who just want to make trouble. And half the time when you ask a question, I've gone through this how many times on the show, say this is a technical question that deserves a technical answer, not a moral sermon or preaching or whatever. But sure enough, when you go to ask a technical question, some Dunning-Kruger blowhards on these groups are going to just attack you morally for asking about, what drum samples do I want to use or what audio interface. Somehow it becomes a moral question, and then they get politics. It's just crazy. So it's hard to get answers. 609 in at 389, not to mention 3 years work. Yeah, there's no work here. Not on my end. All right, but anyway, let me get out of here. I have cleanup to do around the studio, which hopefully is going to make things a little bit more ergonomical. All right, I'll see you guys later on. I got actually testing some good new software that, hey, look, all right, I didn't say the P word, okay? Glenn Fricker and Alex Nasla spilled the beans at a NAMM show video on Warren Hewitt's channel. So that wasn't me. Anybody wants to blame me for spilling the beans, that wasn't me. I still haven't spilled the beans. I don't think I've even said the word or the name. That was Glenn and Alex. Blame them. All right, I'll see you guys.